This episode of the Homeschooled Nerd Show is brought to you by Donald Trump. Hey, what's going on, guys? Vinnie Harned here, aka Duende, and welcome to Homeschooled Nerd. So real quick before we begin this video, I'd just like to take a moment to thank our new sponsor, Donald Trump. If you'd like to know more about his campaign, you can... Oh. Hang on, I gotta take this real quick. Hello? What? What do you mean you're canceling your sponsorship? We just got it. You can't just do that. Alright, well in that case, I'm voting for Hillary, you little jerk. Seriously, how am I supposed to pay to make these videos now? Well, in that case, I guess I'll have to get funding from elsewhere, so hang on while I make a quick phone call. Hello? Dad? Yup, that's right. More money. Man, I have like the greatest dad in the entire world, am I right? You know, maybe I should do something today to, kind of show my appreciation for him. Like a top 10 video of the top 10 worst dads in video games. Let's do the video now. Top 10 worst dads in video games. When it comes to video game characters, there's a lot of neglect that goes on, but no one messes up quite so much as Mario. I mean, seriously, you'd think that after all these games, Mario would eventually come up with some kind of Bowser deterrent to keep the Koopa King from constantly kidnapping the princess. So clearly Mario's irresponsible, but when you consider his upbringing, I mean, seriously, he was kidnapped how many times before he made it to his parents' house? And that wasn't even the right one. Oh, this house wasn't expecting any babies? My bad. Seriously, letting storks and Yoshis tend to your children is the most irresponsible thing I've ever seen. And don't even get me started about how Mario treats Luigi. Mario's parents are the worst, specifically his dad, because, this is the top 10 worst dads in video games. So, it's Mario's dad at number 10. Next! Growing up without a dad blows. That's why one video game protagonist I think we should all feel sorry for is Chrono from Chrono Trigger. As great as it is to have a mom that gives you allowance, is supportive of your relationships, and forgets your best friend's name, it's not the same as having a dad. Now, I don't exactly know what happened to Chrono's father. Did he die or did he just leave home? But either way, it doesn't really matter to me. As far as I can see, he's one of the worst dads ever. Up next is Princess Zelda's father. Of course, there have been many versions of her father, but I think we can all agree that in all cases, he is a terrible father. I mean, relying on one little kid to save his daughter? I don't care how great you guys think Link is. No good father would rely on one guy to save his daughter if he has an entire army he could use. But I think no version of Zelda's father beats the one in Ocarina of Time. Seriously, all you fathers watching, if your daughter feels that a man is evil, don't wait till he sexually assaults her or takes over Hyrule or whatever it is he's planning to do before taking action. Good fathers should listen to their children. Idiot. Red's parentage in the original Pokemon games is a bit of a mystery. According to the original anime, Red was inspired by his father and chose Charmander because of him. But of course, that's not canon or anything. Everyone knows Red's real father is Professor Oak. What? It's a well-known Pokemon fact. And believe me, Professor Oak is one terrible father. I mean, just look at Red's mother. No backbone, getting all our parental advice from TV, and then when he's about to leave home, just being like, oh, you're going to go out on your own to catch some wild monsters and use them to battle other trainers and gangs and stuff? That's pretty cool. But Professor Oak doesn't even seem to care. First, he completely ignores his own legitimate grandson in favor of Red, and then sends them both off into the world of Pokemon claiming that he's too old to be a trainer. Completely ignoring the fact that at the end of the game, he somehow gets through the Elite Four and even battles you in some versions of the game. The guy's a terrible father, grandfather, and all-around jerk. The only thing I could think that would be worse than him would be a real Oak. Yeah, that's right, I'm talking about you, Andrew. I hate you. You are like the worst tree. Sonic 06 is one of the most memorable Sonic games of all time, and not for any good reasons either. From the glitches to the creepy hedgehog to human romance going on, this is one of the worst Sonic games of all time. That is until Sonic Boom, of course. Personally, I feel like the story in Sonic 06 has some pretty cool parts to it, and had it not had the whole romance between Sonic and Princess Elise, I think it would have actually been the most solid story we've ever seen in a Sonic game. But hey, who am I to say? But speaking of Princess Elise, it's actually her father they're wanting to talk about. You see, Princess Elise's father was the king of some country that was running an experiment trying to control a godlike creature called Solaris in order to create time control. But things didn't go quite as planned, as in it killed him and all his science guys. Before he dies, however, he's able to help Shadow and Silver steal the two forms of Solaris, Mephiles, and Iblis, sealing Mephiles away in a magic wand and Iblis into his daughter. The only catch is, if Princess Elise ever cries, then Iblis will be released, which is of course what happens when Mephiles kills Sonic. But the real question here is, why would anyone think this would be a good idea? Even if there were no other people to seal Iblis in, there's no way this would work for more than maybe 5 years. This guy's a terrible father. Do you have any idea how much girls cry? I'd give it to like she's 15 at the most. There's no way she'd get through puberty without ever crying. Relying on the emotional stability of a girl to stop the end of the world? That's the most irresponsible thing I've ever heard of.
Okay, so I was thinking, maybe we should break up.
That's not good. Every now and then, video games have characters who seem like complete idiots. For instance, Dr. Light, Mega Man's creator, or as he calls himself in the cartoon, his father. Now, as nice a guy as Dr. Light is, and as smart as he's supposed to be, he kinda seems like an idiot. I mean, it's pretty much his fault that Dr. Wily was able to do the things he did. I mean, he didn't have any security to stop Dr. Wily from stealing his robots. And then once Wily's robots started menacing the world, Dr. Light figures, hey, let's just turn this boy robot into a fighting robot. But even after Mega Man stops Dr. Wily again and again, they still aren't able to completely stop him thanks to Dr. Light. What do they feed you guys anyway? Gullible soup? Dr. Wily is a bad person. Stop trusting him, Dr. Light. You are a terrible father. The parents of Shell from Portal 2 are never actually seen, so it may seem kind of odd for me to put her father on this list, but hear me out. GLaDOS makes it pretty clear that Shell was in fact abandoned on a doorstep and later adopted by Aperture Science. This makes it pretty clear that her parents don't love her, but I think the situation is even deeper. Once, there were two young lovers, a dude and his girlfriend, who were very happy. But one day the girl found out that she was pregnant. When the man found out, he said, "Get rid of that thing." But the woman didn't, and instead gave birth to a daughter, who she named Shell. When the man saw the child, he once again said, "Get rid of that thing." And the woman couldn't help but kind of agree with him that time, so she threw it away. And the two of them went separate ways, leaving the child to be later adopted and raised by Aperture Science as part of their perpetual testing initiative. The end. So yeah, Shell's father. He's kind of a jerk. And if you're not convinced by my story, GLaDOS has even supplied proof.
Let's give your parents a call right now.
The birth parents you are trying to reach do not love you. Please hang up.
So there you go. Proven. Call me up, Matt Pat. For most of us, our dads work really hard for us. They go to work, help mom around the house, and pay for our school and board so we can continue to make these stupid YouTube videos. That pretty much defines what dad is, so unsurprisingly one of the worst fathers in video games is the exact opposite of that. Talon from Ocarina of Time. You first meet Talon sleeping in the castle courtyard where he was delivering some milk until he got a little too tired and fell asleep. Later on, you can find him asleep in his chicken coop, making his hired hand and daughter do all the work. But worse yet, 7 years later, you find that he's completely lost his farm to his former hired hand Ingo, who has now made Talon's daughter Malone his slave pretty much. So with his daughter in this bad situation, you'd think that Talon should have learned his lesson now, right? So what do you think he's doing? That's right, he's sleeping. Still sleeping. Wake up, man! What kind of father are you? You are a terrible parent. Adopted children. They're a pretty important thing. I mean, I know lots of parents who've adopted children and they're all great people. But one rule I think we can all agree on is, if you adopt a child, don't wait till they're grown up halfway thinking they're a legitimate child, and then seal away for 7 years till grown, become the hero of time, and then tell them, hey, you may have been adopted. That's right, I'm talking about the Great Deku Tree, Link's adopted father in Ocarina of Time. Now, the Great Deku Tree himself isn't a bad guy. I mean, he's a great character and all, and is really kind to all the Kokiri children, including Link, who he adopted. But to wait until Link's grown up to tell him that he is in fact not a Kokiri like the other children of the forest, but rather a normal Hylian whose mother escaped through the forest and then died. Yeah. Not cool, Deku. You are a terrible father, just like all trees. Yeah, that's right, I'm looking at you again, Andrew. So as you can clearly see, there are some pretty lame fathers in video games. But for number one, I couldn't justify putting anyone else on this list, aside from the father to whatever the heck this creature is. This goes with pretty much anything and everything created in Spore. In some cases, things created in the game look pretty good, but that's only if you're actually good at the game. For the rest of us, yeah. Seriously, anything that gives birth or is even remotely related to this needs to burn. Just burn them all. Burn their entire family. Kill with fire. Thank you. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It really does mean a lot. And of course, huge shout out to all the fathers of all the kids. Happy Father's Day. You guys rock. Also, I'd like to say thank you to my own father, who I actually really do appreciate. Not just because he lets me make these stupid videos, because he actually doesn't. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos by clicking some of these links. I mean, you don't have to, but you could if you want. Anywho, that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Homeschooled Nerd, signing out.